Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sam's YouTube channel, and welcome back to Snetterton Farm. This is episode number 11, and let me show you something. Look at that soil temperature up there, folks. Let's look at seasons. 41 degrees is our minimum temperature for most of our cereal crops, including wheat, barley, canola, etc. And so we are going to get started. I know I said that perhaps I said in episode number 10, or I think I said in episode number 10 that I was thinking about maybe doing a little bit of forestry today, but you know something? We don't have time to do forestry, not when we have a minimum soil temperature that matches, or at least we have a soil temperature that matches our minimum soil temperature. So we are going to get started with our seeding here and take advantage of not only the fairly decent weather, but also again our minimum soil temperature there for our cereal crops of wheat. So we're going to start with wheat. The boys are actually off right now, so we're gonna do some of this work ourselves here. Of course, that's always fun to do. I quite enjoy doing a little bit of cultivation and a little bit of plowing and seeding and all that good kind of stuff. So we're just going to kind of enjoy our episode number 11 and our time here. So we'll go ahead and shift that. Well, actually, that was right the first time, wasn't it? So we will bring this on down here, and hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. Let's go ahead and unfold our cultivator. This is the big cultivator. You know, we're sort of going big or going home here on this map. That's kind of how I like to occasionally play my maps, and I just want to very quickly check the store here to make sure that I've got the dimensions correct. And this is a 14.5 meter 14.5 meter cultivator, so we're going to see if it will find the working width correctly. There we go, 14.4, that will just have to do. And let's see, we'll go ahead and slide on down just a little bit here and then make sure we are good to go with our lines. Let me just slide this on down, keep on going, keep on going. There we go, and we don't need an offset for this. So awesome, awesome sauce. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with cultivating. We are, of course, I know I could go ahead and drop the seeder on this and it would work just fine. We do not have to cultivate our fields to be able to seed them, but trying to go with a little bit of realism, a little bit of immersion. You know, some of these fields we plowed several game days ago, and sort of the way that I look at it is, even though we are playing 24 game days per season, if you think about it in real time, really a season is about, what, 90 days, and so, or 3 months, and so 24 game days per season, it still is condensing the real world 90-day season into 24. So in practice, you know, if we plowed and fertilized this field fairly early in the spring season, it's been several weeks since we plowed the field, so the ground is tough. The ground is not really the best for seed preparation, seed bedding, and so by going ahead and cultivating this plowed ground, it will basically allow us to come in with our seeders, and maybe it helps the seeders last a little bit longer. I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, in our second row here. So I got some good news for not only for the channel but also for the Three Dudes Gaming Network. I have been working the last couple of days ever since the West Coast map has come out. We are going to put the West Coast map onto the Three Dudes Gaming Network multiplayer server, which happens to be called the Dude Ranch. And so I've been working on getting that going. Basically, the multiplayer server is my multiplayer server that I've had for quite a while now, and it has actually been running dormant the last several months, for probably about 2 or 3 months. We've not had any use out of it at all. We've kind of been waiting for the right map to come along, and as a group, the three dudes and Duck Zorley, we've been talking about what we wanted to replace the multiplayer server map with, and we really couldn't decide. And one idea was the West Coast, that obviously is Bullet Bill's brand new map creation that just came out just about 2 days ago, I believe, at this particular point in time. And so we have it, we've downloaded it, I've already installed it on the multiplayer server, and we're going to basically get in the process of getting that set up the way that we want it to be set up. And essentially the invitation goes out to all of our fans, all of our viewers, our subscribers of both Eustace Farmer, myself, Farmer Klein, and Doug Zorley, and any members of the Three Dudes Gaming Network are welcome to join our multiplayer server. Now we're still working out some of the logistics on just when the server is going to be up and operational. My guess is, or at least if I have my wishes, I suppose I would say, it will be up within the next week to maybe 10 days. It'll be all set up and ready to go. Could actually be quicker than that. It's quite possible that the multiplayer server may actually already be in operation before you even watch this video, because again, you guys are going to see this video next week. Actually, I'm recording this on the 6th of September. You guys are going to see this video the week of September 11th, actually. So there you go. So I will make sure that I remind everyone once more, once we get the server operational, make sure that we get everything worked out, get all the kinks, and of course you can get full information on how you join the multiplayer server, or the Three Dudes Gaming Network multiplayer server, by joining the Three Dudes Gaming Network, and all the information is there. Alright, well, Billy Bob showed up, and so I went ahead and let him get into the big cloth, and he is going to finish the cultivation on that field for me. And Jack will be along momentarily and will help out with the rest of today's activities whenever he does decide to show up. So we're going to back up here, and we're going to grab our seeder. Now this is the Amazon seeder. This is a modded version of the in-game Amazon seeder. So as always, if you're interested in this modded version, and for the life of me I can't really remember what the difference is with this guy, but we need to make sure that we go ahead and get him off of grass, because we certainly don't want to plant grass. So we're going to go with our traditional wheat. And we're also going to try and see if we can fill up our seeds from this seed dispenser right here. I think that we can. If not, we'll have to maybe get an auger wagon, but we can. Look at it go. That's pretty quick. It's a quick fill there. We will need to go ahead and get some fertilizer. We're not making fertilizer, at least right now we're not. So we'll go ahead and get some dry fertilizer and fill up here. So our plan, if you remember from the earlier episodes, we've basically started off by fertilizing our fields that were more or less left over from last year. They pretty much set all winter, and we fertilized those, and we plowed that fertilizer into the soil. Some time has gone by, several weeks, obviously, several game days, but of course, again, as I was saying kind of at the start of this episode, you got to think about 24 game days in season, kind of crunching that down into, or taking 90 days and making that into 24. So really and truthfully, if we pull up our forecast, what I mean by that is, while today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday, it's not necessarily, I don't think about it as consecutive days. I kind of think about it just as a snapshot in time, but obviously there are 24 game days per season. So we're going to go ahead and go over here and start on the far west side, field number 6. And again, we are going to be planting wheat in this field. We're going to start with wheat. I kind of figure these are nice, sort of nice long fields, we should be able to do well as far as pulling the straw off these fields. As I kind of back and talk at the same time, let me go ahead and pull the thing around, set our course up here, and that looks pretty good. We'll turn our GPS on, we'll turn our seeder on. Let's see, is that the correct working width? I don't think so. There we go. No offset. We'll slide this back over just a smidge here, and 15 meters. I think this is a 15-meter seeder, so we're gonna play it like it is and hope for the best there. All right, we'll go ahead and drop our seeder down, and we are planting for the very first time, or at least we're planting a crop that we're going to be harvesting at some point in time later this year for the first time. So, well, yes, we are going to be harvesting our grass, but obviously, you know, the grass is kind of a renewable product. We've planted it, you know, we don't have to replant it again. We hopefully will be able to get at least, I'm hoping, well, obviously I'm hoping for one good cutting, but I'm actually thinking that we should be able to get 2 mowings off of those fields. Now, whether we will need it all, you know, that is yet to be determined at this point, I think. But in any event, we've got 2 big grass fields that we have the opportunity to mow, and of course we've got the right mowing equipment. We've got the Corona Big M here on this map, and that is just going to make easy work out of those great big fields. Of course, the more challenging piece of that, I think, will come in the process of gathering that grass or that hay up, and we will obviously be doing both. And of course, we've got 2 other smaller fields that we actually mowed just an episode or 2 ago, so we've got those that we can hopefully cut once again. And then we've also got a little bit larger field down sort of in the south portion of the map, down near town, that we also have access to mow. Actually, we own that field, so we can certainly mow that field. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the word of the day for today. And I mentioned it just a few minutes ago when I was talking about our multiplayer server for the Dude Ranch that's coming up. The word of the day, or the phrase of the day, actually it's going to be a couple of words, is the West Coast. The West Coast by Bullet Bill is our word of the day, the key word of the day. And of course you need that, excuse me, I had a frog in my throat. You need that word of the day because if you want to enter my drawing, the drawing that I will be doing in early November for 3 copies of the upcoming Giants Farm Sim 17 Platinum DLC expansion pack. This is what's basically bringing sugarcane to the game. It's bringing a map based in South America to Farm Sim 17, and probably a lot of other little goodies mixed in there as well. If you want your opportunity to win that, all you need to do is watch my videos, listen for the code word, the key word of the day, and again, for this episode number 11, it is the West Coast. Now, you take that keyword of the day, and if you look down below the video screen, you will see a link to my Discord server, or my Discord channel. You basically will take that, and you will need to go over to my Discord server. You will need to join my Discord server, okay? And then on my Discord server, you will need to look in the section that is for the contest, and there is a special chat section that you can't really reply into, but it's got all the details, the rules and such of the contest in there. It also contains my email address, and you basically email me the code word, and you can enter once per video. And the only caveat to all of this is that I do ask you to please be a subscriber of my YouTube channel. I'm not really paying for subscribers or anything like that, but you know, I use the monetary stuff that I get from YouTube, from Google, from the ads that run on my YouTube videos. I use that to give back to the community. I don't profit from this at all. I've got a full-time job that keeps me as more busy than I want to be at times. I want to give back, and so this is how I do that, because that way I don't have to reach into my personal funds to be able to reward folks with goodies from Giants or from wherever, anything else that I might choose to do a giveaway on at a later date. But for this giveaway, it's going to be 3 copies, so there'll be 3 different lucky winners of this particular giveaway contest, and I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. I suppose the big reason that I'm doing it is obviously I want to give back to the community. I want to give back to the folks that have helped me sort of be successful with YouTube. And again, this is just an extension of my hobby. It's just an extension of my gaming hobby. It's not there's no career aspirations for me whatsoever. I've got a very good IT job that I quite enjoy, and I'm very, very close to, well, I've still got about 10 years before I can retire, but I consider that to be relatively close in the grand scheme of things. And so certainly not wanting to upset the apple cart, or should I say upset my wife, and letting her think that I'm wanting to change careers and become a full-time video gamer. I think she would probably want to check me into the mental hospital, and there's nothing wrong with full-time video gamers, none whatsoever. I would love to be able to do this full-time, but you know, I have to be smart about it as well. And so I am kind of getting a bit of a late start at this, and some of the younger folks, I take my hat off to those guys. As always, as I've shared many times here on the channel, I have nothing against folks that do this full time. And but anyway, I do it to give back, and it's fun. I enjoy editing the videos, and I've met so many incredible talented people, and people that I consider to be really good friends as part of this whole thing. And I'm quite fortunate, quite lucky to have had the opportunity to meet so many great people. A bit foggy this morning, wouldn't you say? That should burn off momentarily. Playing at 15x speed, you know, different weather patterns and stuff like that don't last very long, especially as compared to how things tend to go when if you're playing in 1x speed. You know, rain could last quite a long period of time, but obviously at 15x speed, everything is passing by a little bit quicker. Everything goes by. We've passed the $3 million mark. Our harvest income has been doing quite well. You might remember we sort of started at 2.5 million. That was sort of the padding that we had to be able to sort of operate, obviously pay our hands, buy seeds, buy a few other things. Now we do have a payment that we're going to be making to some local farmers for straw, so we'll pull some of that money out and pay for straw to keep the compost plant running. We're kind of doing this, you know, the challenge in and of itself is really just to play a single map for 24 game days per season, and just mainly see if we have the mental wherewithal to be able to continue to do this before we absolutely go crazy playing the same map and everything and stretching everything out for so many game days. Obviously it will be a total of 96 game days total. That's what this would end up playing out to. And the challenge really itself is to have fun and to really try to see if we can endure, if we have what it takes to basically play it this way. We are more than halfway through spring. 12 game days per season is half of 24, so we've achieved that. And of course this is our first game day of being able to put some real seeds in the ground, stuff that we will be harvesting later on. We've got 2 big John Deere combines, and at some point when the harvest begins to start, we will be hitting that with big stuff, big machinery, probably doing some auger wagon, overloader wagon stuff into semis, and we'll probably have course play, and obviously Billy Bob and Jack will be working their little tail ends off, getting everything done. I've been kind of lenient on them as we've kind of started off the spring season. Of course, now that we can plant, we're going to be making sure that we are all hands on deck for the next several game days to basically get all of our fields planted. We do own quite a number of fields, and I suppose it's always sort of keeping it in the back of my mind that we might just maybe expand, buy a few more fields. It sort of depends. I was kind of thinking about maybe buying a field a little closer to the compost facility, just for the sake of being able to pull straw or anything else directly off that field and take it to the compost facility instead of transporting it either from the main farm down there. But that's really yet to be determined. I think that really it's going to depend on at what point do we finish planting the fields that we own presently at this particular point in time, and still making sure that we have plenty of time to take care of our animals, because we've got to basically address their needs every 3 days, every 2.5 to 3 days or so. We are actually going to be buying more cattle. We want to increase our dairy population significantly. Right now we started with 100, and I think we still have 100 dairy cows, so we are looking at doubling that number at least, if not maybe a little bit more, and of course that will come out of our operating funds that we have there at the top. So we've been very fortunate that we've been making some deals with some of the local farmers in ensuring that we've been able to buy straw and some hay and stuff that they've had left over. Plus, again, keep in mind we are playing this scenario, or the storyline is that, you know, we owned this farm, we operated this farm last year, and it was quite productive, and we had good crops and everything. And so this is really just a continuation of that storyline, of that sort of multi-year storyline. All right, so I hit the wrong button, I see. So we'll get that going again. I think I still hit the wrong button. I think I must have hit the B key instead of hitting the V key. I've got these mapped, or these buttons mapped out on my Logitech wheel, and sometimes I hit the wrong one. Obviously I've got a button for to activate and deactivate GPS. I've got a button for raising and lowering the implement, and I've got a button for turning the seeder on and off. And sometimes I get my fingers on the wrong buttons, and I'm sitting here in the cab. Well, I'm not really in the cab now. I'm in the cab. I'm sitting in the cab, and I'm talking to you guys about whatever it is that we have to talk about, and I sort of sometimes get my fingers on the wrong buttons. I'm only human after all, right? I mean, hey, go easy on me, all that good stuff. But hey, you know, this has been an awesome opportunity, my YouTube channel. I'm so appreciative to all of you who have helped to elevate this channel, the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, past the 1,000, the 1K mark. I never thought, I mean, when I started my channel, or at least when I started producing videos for my channel, which was last September, so we are coming up on our 1-year anniversary. I had no idea that I would hit the 1K mark inside of a year, and I was thrilled to bits, just thrilled to bits when we actually hit 100. And I think honestly, it's kind of funny because my friend Rubber Burner Gaming, which by the way, make sure you check out his channel if you haven't already. Rubber Burner Gaming puts out some excellent quality farm sim, truck sim. He's kind of a simulation-based gamer like myself, and I've known Rubber Burner Gaming for quite some time. He and I met when I ran a virtual trucking company, even before I started making YouTube videos. So in any event, there's a conversation. He just recently hit 500 viewers of his channel, and some folks had chimed in and talked about, you know, sort of their memories of when they had channels or whatever. And I think it is true that really the first 100 subscribers is kind of the hardest to get to. Getting, you know, starting your channel out and trying to carve out your niche, you know, whether you want to do a single game, or you want to do multiple games, or you want to do role play continuous, or you kind of want to do commentary like I do. I find it very hard to stick with with role play and stick into characters, because I like to talk. I like to talk about different things. I like to talk about stuff that is happening in my life and happening in the world and everything. So it's kind of that first 100 subscribers is sort of your uphill battle. Once you kind of get to 100, I think people that stop by your channel see that, well, you've got 100 subscribers, plus also you can do things once you reach the 100 subscriber mark. You can monetize your channel if you want to, and of course you can schedule videos, which was one of the big benefits for me in hitting 100 and monetizing my channel, was the ability to be able to schedule videos, because I like to do my editing. I like to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to edit 3 videos. I'm going to edit and render through 3 videos. And I'm doing that, and then I can basically queue those. I can set those to release at a specific time. You know me, I like to release my videos at 6 o'clock in the mornings Mountain Time, and so I can do that. And usually at 6 o'clock Mountain Time, I'm either on my way to work, or I'm enjoying my cup of coffee as I try to convince myself that I'm going to go and endure another day in the office. And that's a joke, of course. I actually love my job. But in any event, that first 100 subscribers is a bit of a challenge to get to. Once you get there, then kind of the 200 or 250 number is kind of a milestone. Then of course there's 500, and then 750, and then of course we're at 1K, 1,000. So we'll see where it goes. It's not about the numbers at all for me. I figure that the people that routinely watch my videos, you are the folks that I work for. You are the folks that I consider to be not only my friends, my fans, my audience, the people that I am trying to produce content for, entertain, and help maybe educate a little bit. Of course, I learn a lot of stuff from you guys as well. So please don't think that I know everything that there is to know about these types of games. I'm still learning as well. And any day that I learn something new, I personally consider that to be a very good day. I like to learn things new, both in my job as well as in my hobbies and stuff like that. So but anyway, that's why I do it. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, probably the next milestone for me to sort of look at is probably 1,500. And then we'll just take it from there. We'll just see where this goes. But no, the end of September is of course going to be a 1-year celebration of sorts of me producing YouTube videos on a regular basis and getting them out there to you guys to enjoy, and gals. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying about the reasons for the giveaways. And of course, it's just also just to share a little bit, give back, and you guys watch the commercials. I wish there was I wish I didn't have to do that, but because I do want to give something back, I do have monetization turned on. Plus, like I've said, it does help me with giving me the scheduling benefits and everything. But no, I can give things back to the community, and I quite enjoy that about that opportunity. So we're coming up on 30 minutes, according to my timer that I set each time, or try to remember to set each time that I get ready to start. And we did a little bit of cultivation, and then Billy Bob showed up, and then we got him basically to finish the cultivation of this field number 6. And then we are seeding and fertilizing field number 6 in wheat. Now we will have one additional stage of fertilization that we will need to take care of, and of course we've got the big self-propelled sprayer that we can take care of that with, knock that out, and of course either myself or Billy Bob or Jack will handle that task, and I'm sure we'll have fun doing it. So for the rest of this game day, I am probably going to have the boys probably cultivate, and this other field over to our right there, and we'll probably go ahead and seed that field in something or another. I don't know if it'll be wheat or if it will be barley. Might do 2 wheat, and then do the other field next to that one in barley. Kind of keep these 3 fields here for the fields, the crops that we will be doing a straw swath off of. That way we don't have as far to transport the straw from the field to the silo. That's kind of, you know, what I'm trying to think about here is proximity of things. And so we'll probably do that, and then probably the next time when I come back for episode number 12, we will probably be in the next game day. And maybe at that particular point in time, I'll be a little closer to deciding just when I might want to add some additional dairy cows to our herd. That way we have a little bit more milk production and such going into the farm. And so I'll make a determination on that. May go ahead and just buy the cows and have them already here, and then I will let you guys know that that's what we've chosen to do. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up and say thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate you watching my videos. I appreciate you being a part of the Grizzly Bear Sims family. Stay on the lookout. Keep your eyes and your ears peeled for more information on the Dude Ranch, the multiplayer server. I would love to actually spend some time playing with you guys on the multiplayer server on the West Coast by Bullet Bill. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, probably the best way that you can learn more about that is through the Three Dudes Gaming Network. You'll find a link to that down below the video screen. And so check that out. Anyway, until next time, until we come back together for episode number 12, my name is Jerry, also known as Grizzly Bear Sims, and I thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you will take care of yourselves and also take care of each other. God bless you all. Take care, and I will see you all the very next episode. Bye-bye.